It's so great to be with you today, and I'm so excited to have new students on the line. Welcome, we're glad that you're here. Today I want us to talk about passion and purpose. When we know what we're passionate about and we start to realize what our purpose is for this season, but also for our future, it helps to direct our path for greatness. It helps to direct our path to achieve something great. And I wanted to start by talking about a group of people that were passionate and they achieved great things. And this is the Tuskegee Airmen. The Tuskegee Airmen, if you've ever heard of the Tuskegee Airmen, I want you to put a little something in the chat, a little emoji, a thumbs up, a smile, an airplane. There's a little clue if you didn't know anything about them. But something in the chat that lets us know that you've heard of them before. The Tuskegee Airmen were a group of mostly African American men who volunteered to serve as the first black military airmen for the United States of America. Tuskegee University started by Booker T. Washington and was where they received their training. The Tuskegee Airmen were held in high esteem for their amazing skills, abilities, and courage. And I'm gonna read a couple things that I found. You can dig deeper to find out. They had amazing testimonies, amazing stories of what they did, but I'm gonna read a couple of them. The airmen's success in escorting bombers during World War II. They had one of the lowest loss records of all escort fighter groups, and being in constant demand for their services by Allied bomber units. It is recorded that their records were unmatched by any other fighting group. They were amazing. Their records were unmatched. The 99th Squadron distinguished itself by being awarded 2 Presidential Unit citations in 1943 and 44 for outstanding tactical air support and aerial combat. The 332nd Fighter Group was awarded the Presidential Unit Citation for its longest bomber escort mission to Berlin, Germany in 1945. These men were amazing. They were passionate about what they were doing, and they knew what their purpose was, and they achieved great things for themselves, but for the nation and the nations of the world. They accomplished amazing things. When we know what we're passionate about and when we know what our purpose is, we can accomplish great things. When we do this, we actually partner with God. He created us to be great. He created us to do great things. So when we start to move forward in that passion and in that purpose, we partner with God in accomplishing the great things that He has set for us to do. So Proverbs 2:26, we want to help you find out what you're truly passionate about. Find out what makes you tick. And then help you also find what is your purpose, what is your calling, what's part of your destiny, and help you support you along the way while you're on that road to achieving that. We can't achieve that for you. Only you can achieve that. And if you don't, it's not for someone else to achieve. It was put there just for you. So I want to give you a couple questions to think about and to consider to help you find out what you are good at, what you are passionate about, because if we just look at what we're passionate about and we forget at what we're actually good at and gifted at, we might lose our way. But if we just look at, well, I'm really good at this, but I hate it, then you're just going to get discouraged. So we have to find this combination of what we're good at, what we're passionate about, and move forward in that. So I have some questions. Are you ready? Here's some questions to think about. Question number 1. What gives you joy and makes you happy? You can write it down, you can put it in the chat, but be thinking about this. What gives you joy and makes you happy? Question number 2. Without getting paid, what would you be willing to do? So like these Tuskegee Airmen, they were volunteers, but they were willing to do it because it was what they were passionate about and they knew it was part of their purpose. Would you be willing to teach a group of children in a rural area that couldn't afford teachers? Would you be willing to volunteer to go on the front lines and scoop up babies that have been orphaned during war and to bring them back? What would you be willing to do without being paid for it? Number 3, what gives you energy? The more you do it, some people, they're extroverts, the more they talk to people, and when they're around lots of people, they don't even need coffee. They get so jacked up with energy, they're like, and the more they're around people, the more energy they get. What gives you energy? Now, the next thing, which is really important, is what comes easily to you. Maybe it's solutions. Maybe it's math things. Maybe it's making food. Maybe it's serving others. Maybe it's talking to people. Maybe talking to people doesn't come easy to you at all. Maybe it's being behind the scenes and making sure everything's taken care of. What comes easily to you? The next one to think about is what spurs your creativity. When you start thinking about it, all of a sudden your mind just kind of starts blowing up with all these ideas of it keeps coming and keeps coming. What do you think about and talk about? What do you want to, just always going in the back of your mind, or so maybe in the forefront of your mind, and you're just always talking about that. You meet some people and they are so excited about, and they love animals. All they can talk about is their pets and caring for the neighbor's cat and helping these horses because they're so passionate about it. That's all that's on their mind is animals, or maybe cooking and baking or helping people. What is on your mind? Next question, what are you good at? So this kind of goes with what comes easily to you, but what are you good at? If you really want to be a professional quarterback, an NFL player, but you can't throw, that's not what you're good at. So you should find a different passion. So you have to look at what are you actually good at? What are some of your skills, some of your abilities? Now, some of you might not know yet because you haven't tried things. And this is what's so great about our job fairs and meeting these different people, to go and try, give it a go. Try baking, try cooking, go and shadow with some doctors and nurses or caregivers. Find out what you're good at, what you love. Okay, 2 more questions. What do you like to read about? If you have the choice, do you want to read about things in history? Do you want to read about facts and trivia? Do you want to read about certain topics? What do you like to read about? Because this helps you realize what you're interested in. And what would you like to do to impact or to affect change? We need to be reminded to all be thinking about how can we impact somebody else, something greater than ourselves. How can we affect change, and good change and positive change, and make things better? Every time you walk into a room, think about how can I make this room better? Oh, I can pick up that trash, or I could say hi to that person and smile at them. How can you affect change? So these are just some questions to get you thinking about what is your passion, and in that, what is your purpose?
Right. So, Dr. Liz, as you were saying, we don't have like a time to ask the answers for all the questions.
Turn your camera off. I'm sorry, Cyril. People are waiting to be let in. Sorry about that.
No problem. Navia should be able to let them in. And those of you are on the line, you can mute yourself if there is like a background coming up from you. So, Dr. Liz, the thing is, when Greeks die, they don't ask whether he had a big house, whether he had a fancy car, or they had like a boat or whatever, right? But they ask when a person dies, did he have a passion?
Yeah.
Because unless we have a passion to do something, it's really like a boring life.
Yeah.
Right? And so I thought one of the questions that you asked is really good is, without getting paid, what would you do, right? Without getting paid, what would you do? So here, if you can take a moment, you can be a mentor, you can also be a child, a caregiver, it doesn't matter. If if you are willing to do some work without getting paid, what would that be? And we're going to watch this on your chat. Go ahead. If you are asked to do something you're willing to do, if you are not even getting paid, what would you do?
They're thinking.
Yep.
They might be worried that we're going to hold them to it.
All right, music. Okay, what else? This is not a tricky question. Taking care of children, okay? Coach and encourage others. Feed the homeless. Feeding the homeless, okay? We'll give another second or so. Less fortunate.
Yeah, charity for them.
Less fortunate charity.
Oh, there was
Take
one
care
about
of the children and the elderly. Teach and mentor children. All right, we will give one more second, and then I have one more question. I thought it was really good. We can ask our people, what comes to you easily? Give the knowledge that I have to others. Volunteer with Proverbs 2 to 6. Being a good listener. So the next question that we want to ask is, what comes easily to you? Because like Dr. Liz said, sometimes if you want to become a quarterback and if you're not able to throw, that's not a skill that you're going to have. So what comes easily to you? Oh, planning and organizing events.
Ooh.
Talking.
Write that person's name down.
Yeah, that's Cookie. We are recording that to Cookie. Speaking to people. This may sound odd, but organizing spaces so people can live well.
That's cool. That doesn't sound odd.
Communication. All right, we'll give one more second. If there is anyone has an answer, meet new people comes easy to me. Oh, the next one I could not hear. Miss Brenda, serving others.
Yeah.
Okay, we got that first one too. All right, wonderful. Dr. Liz, one of the things that we are trying to do, in this journey with our Kids2Career is to help kids find that passion, right? And so these questions are really good. Is it something that we can actually send as an email to all these children that has come in, or set of questions that we can ask them to do?
I think that's a great idea. I'll put some questions together and send it to you.
Send it to you. Okay, perfect. If you have any questions related to this topic, we will be posting this message also on YouTube. If you haven't really subscribed to our YouTube channel, we would recommend very highly for you to subscribe to that channel. The reason why is because every new video that we are putting together like this, the sessions that we are doing with the Kids2Career, all of these things are getting loaded into our YouTube channel. And it's very, very simple. youtube.com/Proverbs 2 to 6. That's the name of our organization, Proverbs 2 to 6, one word, _media. So if you can go in and subscribe and click on that bell icon, every single time we put another video, you're going to get a copy of that one. Okay? With that said, Dr. Liz, any closing comments?
I think we just want to encourage you to look to your future. Yes, we are present in the moment, but we need to be planning for our future to be great and to fulfill what God's called us to do.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Liz.
Thank you.
Just as what we said in the beginning, we're going to do a break into two separate groups. So if you have a chance to look at the bottom of your screen, there should be an option for you to go into a room that is out there, okay? If I can see that screen, full screen, I can tell you there is an option for you to go to a room, and it's at the bottom, should be there. Navia, do we have those 2 rooms? All right.
Yes, I'm going to run them in a minute.
Okay, fantastic. So the 2 rooms that you're going to get a chance to go to are the ones, number one, if you want to become like an IT architect kind of role, you can go to that room that's available where Mr. Dale and Mr. Eric Standring will be there to help you. But if you're here for the very first time, you stay on this line itself. Okay, we're going to work with you, give you a lot of information this morning. Caregivers, stay here. Also, if you have already been with us and you want to learn a little bit more about college onboarding, we're going to do that session even for the new children as well. You can go and meet with Ms. Katina. Thank you, Dr. Liz, for being with us this morning.
Thank you.